guys, and welcome to another WIP Wednesday. If you're new to my channel, I'm Adrian, and Kiwi is my Indian ringneck, who's looking like he's trying to take a nap over there. So the way I usually do this is I show you guys my finished projects, and then we discuss some of the projects that I want to get finished or that I plan on starting for the upcoming week. And then we oftentimes talk about, life updates and whatnot, which, fair warning, this is one of those. So I'm going to start off with finished projects. Now, the first two finished projects that I have for you guys, I'll have to throw a picture up over here. One of them is Goober the Goblin, and the other is a second glow-in-the-dark ghost. Now, Goober the Goblin, you guys seen, I started him a while back, and I finished all the pieces, but I didn't sew him together. He was made out of a discontinued colorway of Red Heart Super Saver called Honeydew that I found at the thrift shop, and I really like that color. And actually, Ian was kind enough to check out Hirschner's, and he found one that looks pretty similar. I haven't purchased it yet because I just haven't made another Hirschner's yarn haul. But the next one that I do, I plan on picking that color up and doing a little bit of a comparison, because I do still have some of that Red Heart Super Saver Honeydew color. And so I want to see how close a match I can get, because I really did like the color. It really does remind me of a honeydew melon. Now, the ghost in that picture is a glow-in-the-dark ghost. It's the second one that I made out of the ball from the glow-in-the-dark yarn video, which, if you missed that, I will put a card up here if you guys want to check that out. I was able to get almost all of a second ghost made out of that, out of just the one ball. I think it was like only the last 3 rows on the bottom, so just the decrease rounds on the bottom were not in the glow-in-the-dark yarn. I just used a regular acrylic. To be honest, I don't think anybody's going to notice or care because it's on the bottom. So I did complete those 2 projects. Another project that I started and finished this week, I know this year I have not made very many bats, but I did start and finish this little bat. So it'll go in the Scream Hollow box. I just randomly felt like making a bat. Like I said, in years past, I've done a bat giveaway. The last 2 years, I think this will be the 3rd year, and we may not do it this year, to be honest. I haven't really decided. Keep count of your bats anyways, just in case. Because, to be honest, I have not made very many bats. And part of that is I feel like I'm a little burnt out on bats, or at least I'm burnt out on this particular bat pattern, which, if you're interested in any of the things that I'm showing you, I will leave links in the description box for all of the patterns that I'm showing you guys. So it could just be that I'm burnt out on this particular bat pattern. There's other bat patterns that I could try. I just haven't done it. I've been making ghosts and pumpkins for Scream Hollow. I made some goblins. So those are the 3 finished projects I have completed this week. Now, y'all know how I be complaining all the time about how I have so many unfinished projects and how I'm going to focus on completing projects that totally didn't happen this week. I think I was live when I started this next project. I think it was Thursday that I started it. During me and Crystal's live or something like that. I'm not entirely sure which day I started this. But rather than get projects finished, I mean, I did finish 2, and I started and finished a 3rd, but I evened it out by starting even more projects that aren't finished. Anyways, so I'm not real sure when I started this. I think it was on Thursday. And it is a Lotus Mandala duster. For Casey. It's a size small. This is what the side facing y'all is the back. And then of course this is the inside. But so that's what that's looking like. I'm not too far from being finished. This has only got, I think, a total of 35 rows for the body, and then I can move on to the sleeves. And I'm not doing bell sleeves. I'm just going to give her a straight sleeve. It's easier for her just because bell sleeves can be in the way, especially when you're a 12-year-old in school. So for this, I'm actually using a color that she picked out. It's called Mint in Premier Sprouts DK. I just did a review on that on Premier Sprouts in general. I did a review on. I didn't really do a great review. I could have done a lot better, but really, I just like the yarn and I highly recommend it. Like, I highly, highly recommend it. I'm pretty impressed with Premier's cotton, to be honest. I haven't found a cotton yet from Premier that I didn't really care for. I also have some of their afternoon cotton, which is a mercerized cotton. It's a lightweight 3, and I quite like that as well. I'm still trying to figure out what I want to make with it, though. Let me see if I can reach it. So it's a lightweight 3. I've got it in blue, yellow, and gray. Well, this color is called Fog, but yeah, I've got it in blue, yellow, and gray. I don't remember. I want to say these are like $3.99 or $4.99, something like that. It's 136 yards of 100% mercerized Egyptian Giza cotton. And it's a lightweight 3. Like I said, I have not decided what. I know I want to make a top. I just don't know with what stitch yet. And yeah. So, but I just really have not found a cotton that I didn't like from Premier, and so I'm pretty impressed with Premier, actually, in regards with that. But I mean, it's like, I really like their DK colors. The only yarn that I really haven't cared for much was that new Candy Shop yarn that Casey liked and wanted a bikini cover with, and then I bought more yarn to finish it, and then she was like, I don't like it, so now I have 6 cakes of that yarn, and I hate the yarn. It's so rough, and I'm not into making home decor items, so I'm probably not going to make a basket or anything unless it's for like a giveaway, or I don't know, maybe I'll make a bag and I'll give it away or something. I don't know. That's one of those yarns that I don't care for it. It's rough on my hands. But anyways, besides the Lotus Mandala duster, the other thing I started was, I think it was my first year at Scream Hollow. I purchased a pattern for a amigurumi Baphomet. Which, if you are unfamiliar with what a Baphomet is, I will throw a picture on the screen up here of what he is. It is kind of an occult symbol, but I'll real quick read you what Wikipedia has to say on Baphomet, because a lot of people kind of think of it as witchcraft and occult and things like that. But I'm making it for Scream Hollow. It's a Halloween theme park. So, anyways, so Baphomet, Baphomet, is a symbolic figure associated with the occult, esoteric knowledge, and sometimes with Satanism. See, that's a thing. A lot of people associate it with Satanism, and I've seen it depicted that way. But to be honest, I think it goes back further than that. I think the history of this particular mythological character goes back further than that. I think it's more of a pagan type thing. It's depicted as a hybrid creature with a goat's head, wings, and a human body, often with dualistic symbolism like male and female attributes. Now, when it says male and female attributes, it means physical. I have 2 different patterns for Baphomet. The one that I'm making is the less anatomically correct version. But I have a second one that is actually for a full size, it's 2.5, 3 feet tall amigurumi. And it's actually got breasts and the whole 9 yards. And I'm not putting that at Scream Hollow. Scream Hollow is supposed to be family friendly. I bought it, I don't know, 2 years ago, thinking that it might be good. And then I was like, maybe it won't be good. Then I realized how big it is and tried to make it in a smaller yarn with a smaller hook. And I still was like, this is really, really big. So, yeah. I don't know that I'm ever actually going to make that pattern now. It's one of those things I don't know that I'm ever going to make. Anyways, while often linked to Satanism, Baphomet's origins are rooted in historical and symbolic interpretations, not necessarily as a deity. So there's a whole bunch of history on what Baphomet is, and there's I'll leave some links if you guys are interested. I can link Wikipedia, or that would probably be the easiest, quickest place, because it'll give you a quick rundown. It's not always correct, but it'll give you a quick idea of what it is. But anyways, so I got over caffeinated the other night. I drank coffee till I don't know, 8 or 9 o'clock at night. And I finished the bat, and then I was sitting here going, what do I do? I don't know what I want to do. And then I finished the round I was on when I was working on the Lotus Mandala Duster, and I was like, I really don't want to move on to the next round, because the next round is only worked over the top half of the cardigan, and that requires thinking and counting, and I don't want to do that. So I started the Baphomet pattern, which a couple years back I did this same pattern, but I did it in red and black. This time I am doing it in a beige. And I know his horns are not perfect. Like, Casey was the first one to tell me that his horns are not perfect. Yes, I know. I get it. But anyways, I stayed up till like 3 o'clock in the morning, working the head, just the head. And just the head took me, I don't know, maybe 4 or 5 hours. Like, I spent so much time pinning these horns down and trying to get them exactly straight, exactly perfect. And like, I'm looking at it from the back right now and I can see like it's not quite perfect. It's not as perfect as I would have liked it to be. This one is a little bit smaller than this one. Like, you can tell my tension was much tighter with this one than it was with this one. And as much as I tried to get the ears to match, it just didn't work. No matter how much I try, and the ears just, anything that has ears or horns or where I have to sew more than one thing on at a time, they just don't quite match every time. But I do feel like he's coming out very cute. I kind of wanted this one to be less of a demon type of a goat and more of a, I'm a cute goat with wings type of a deal. If I can fit it in before we open, I think I might make up, maybe this one and a second one, maybe a third one if I can fit that in. Just in different colors, so there's like a slight variety. The one that I sold a few years ago was the same size as this one, and I sold it for $40 at Scream Hollow. Now, prices have inflated since then because I got bills to pay. Speaking of which, y'all know I be complaining about my Etsy shop, and I just said the other day, every time I really consider shutting my Etsy shop down, I get an order in. Well, that's what happened today, which for me in my time is Tuesday. So I mean that's a great thing. Like, I could use it. But it was an order, just a small order for some baby beanies. But it helps pay the Etsy shop bill off, and whatever's left over I can use for shipping. The rest of it's going to go into my savings account until I absolutely need it. I did want to jump on getting the yarn to finish my Hexie cardigan, but it's not an absolute necessity. Whereas, right now with my dad being in the hospital, there's certain things that are far more important than yarn. So whatever's left over out of that order, I'm going to stow away in my savings account. Some of you guys might notice that my nails are painted. Like, I don't wear nail polish usually because it kind of freaks Kiwi out. Casey, on the other hand, wears nail polish 24/7. I like to get pedicures though. I don't mind my toenails being painted, but I don't like my fingernails being painted because, in particular, the biggest reason is because if they're painted, I can't go, ew, your nails are icky. Like, I can't just look at them and be like, ew, that's gross. Like, and then plus, some of my nails are stupid long. It's always my pinky fingers and my ring fingers, but they always get stupid long. These are the two that I usually have to cut back. You can see, like, this one's getting really long. This one too. This one was that long, and it only recently broke. But my index and my thumb are usually the shortest. And actually, Casey, anyways, I'm getting way off topic. Anyways, so I like pedicures, and I had asked Casey if she would do my feet and my toes sometime this summer, and she refuses to do it. She refuses to do it. Well, finally today she approached me with a what do they call that? It's not a compromise. It's a, I guess we'll call it a proposal. She asked me, or she told me that if I would make her something called pochita, that she would do my feet. Which is, and I'm like, okay, sure. I gotta find the pattern. Well, she even went and she looked for patterns. I looked for patterns. The only patterns we could find for this little creature, which I will throw a picture of up here, all of the patterns were in another language. This critter is from a show called Chainsaw Man. I guess it's an anime, which I know nothing about. And she just thinks this Pochita thing is the cutest thing ever. I read online that Pochita is a chainsaw devil. I've never watched the show, but she really likes it. So I agreed to make her this Pochita thing. So I started that project. You would not believe how many pieces this little pig-looking chainsaw thing is. So far I have 2 handles. I have a back handle, and I have the front handle, and I have the chainsaw piece, 1 leg, a tail, 2 legs, 3 legs. Yeah, there's just a whole lot of pieces, and it's only like this big, this little amigurumi is. But I've got 1, 2, 4, 5, 6 pieces out of 7, 8. I don't think it has ears. So maybe it's only 8. I don't know. I don't know if it has ears or not. But then I have to embroider the face and all of that. I don't know if I have to do the tongue either. I'll have to go look at the pattern. I'm pretty sure that the pattern that I'm following is in Spanish. That's what it sounded like to me. Crystal, if you're watching this, you'll have to let me know. I seriously contemplated sending it to Crystal and being like, hey, I don't know what this means. Can you translate it? Because Casey and I played with this video for, I don't know, a good 10 minutes trying to figure out how to do the captions, because I think it's in Spanish. But when we turned the captions on, it was only doing captions in Spanish. And I'm like, no, I need captions in English. And it took us probably 10 minutes to figure out that YouTube has a thing where you can put captions on and it will auto-translate. I just didn't know how to turn it on. So we played around with that. And that's what I've been working on today is Pochita. Which she says I'm saying it wrong, but that's how it's spelled. Pochita. Pochita. If y'all are familiar with that show, let me know. Benjamin is vaguely familiar with it, and he says that he said he doesn't know that she should be watching it. He seemed to think that it's pretty graphic. Him and Khalil both said that they thought that it was a little graphic, but we are talking about Casey. She's 12, and she likes that kind of horror stuff. She watched Scream and all of the slashers, Freddy Krueger, Chucky, you know, all of the slasher movies. What was that other one? The one with the clown on the bike and the old guy. What was that movie? There's like a whole bunch of them, like 10 of them. Where you have to like save yourself. I don't remember what that movie is. But she watched all of those. And she just likes that horror type grotesque movie, whatever. I mean, I can't hold it against her, because when I was younger, I watched all those movies. I had every Freddy Krueger movie out there. You name it. Nowadays, if I sit down to watch a movie, it's usually something that's fun, or it'll be like a psychological thriller. But for the most part these days, I just watch my documentaries. She absolutely hates Ancient Aliens because I watch it so much. I know these are theories, but they're fun theories. And that's all that matters. So yeah, there's that. That's what I've also started. I started the Pochita project. I think those are all of my new projects since last week. I need to start sewing together the granny square blanket. So I do have a granny square video for you guys next week. But it's not going to be a granny square. It's something different. But I do need to start sewing it together to try to finish that one up. And then also, so, like I said, for me, today is Tuesday. And, for y'all, when y'all see this, it'll be Wednesday. But, on Monday, my dad had his surgery. He was there at 5:30. He was in surgery by 6 o'clock. It was, the last time my mom updated us, at first I thought it was like a 9.5 hour surgery. Come to find out, it ended up only being like 8.5 hours. So it was an 8.5 hour surgery. The doctor cut out half of one lung and got the nodules out of it, as well as the other, because I believe the other one also had some kind of weird stuff going on that wasn't supposed to be in his lungs or something. The one problem they did have is, I guess, during the surgery, I guess the upper and lower portions of your lungs during this particular surgery are you're just supposed to be able to pull them apart or something. I'm not really sure, because I wasn't there talking to the doctor, and I was trying to interpret what my mom was telling me. But I guess during the surgery, typically when they go in, you're supposed to be able to separate the upper and lower portions of the lung, and they just are naturally, they separate very easily. However, my dad's upper and lower portions of the lung were fused together, and so I guess that caused some problems or something. I'm not really entirely sure, so I don't know if they had to cut it or what kind of a difference that made. Now he got out of surgery at like 5:30, 6 o'clock at night. And my mom had gotten a hotel. They actually went down there because they're 2.5 hours away. So, they went down there Sunday night and got a hotel room, because he had to be at the hospital so early. And then she ended up going ahead and staying another night because he got out of surgery so late, and my mom doesn't drive very well at night anymore. So as of now, well, she's seen him before she left. She did, because she came back today, Tuesday, for me. And before she left, she went to see him. His face is very, very, very swollen. Or it was. I don't know if it still is, but it was very swollen. I guess that's from wearing the mask that they had on him. He's got several drain tubes. He's got a lot of tubes coming out of his body. She said that there was a lot of blood coming out of one of the drain tubes. And then he's breathing fine. But in fact, his oxygen was at like 98%. But he's having something like she called it air pockets. I'm not really sure what that is, but she said there's air pockets that are coming out through the drain tubes, or the tubes that are in his body. I'm not really sure what that means, but she did say that the doctor said if he continues hitting air pockets or having these air pockets or whatever they are, that he may have to stay a little bit longer. This afternoon when she was there, though, he was sitting up in a recliner. They ate lunch together 5 hours after his surgery. So, like around 11 o'clock at night, his nurse had him up and moving around. So, if he got out of surgery at 6, by 5 p.m., he was up moving around in the middle of the night, up and down the hallways. They do have him on. They have him doing lung exercises with some kind of a thing, like a blowy thing. I don't know. Like I said, I'm hearing all of this secondhand, so you'll have to forgive me. Y'all are getting my interpretation of what my mom is being told by the doctors, because I haven't seen my dad yet. I don't know that I'm going to see him until Thursday night or Friday morning. Possibly later if these air pocket things become a problem. My mom did say that he is coughing a lot. He was coughing up a little bit of blood and things like that, which I imagine is normal after you have half of a lung cut out. But she did say that he seems like he's in a good mood. So that's a positive. And, I'm sure that, I think the swelling in his face must be from like the mask, because, he's completely unconscious, and I'm sure his throat was probably sore because they put that tube down your throat when they do, what do you call it? When they put you completely under, they put that tube down your throat or whatever. So I'm sure that his throat is probably sore. His face is probably sore. He's probably sore everywheres. But he made it through surgery, and the doctor said they really, really think that they got all of the cancer, which hopefully they did, because I don't know that my dad's going to want to do this again. I don't know. But, yeah, so, I mean, he's doing good. And I really, I want to tell you guys, I really appreciate everyone's prayers and everyone's well wishes. My dad has gotten a lot of love, between YouTube and my mom and I's personal Facebook pages. He's gotten a lot of love, a lot of positive vibes, a lot of prayers, and I just want to say thank you guys for that. Hopefully, everything goes well, he can come home, and then, I don't know, you guys will get to see what it's like for me to take care of my dad for a month, because he's going to be here a month, and I hope he's not like crotchety. Like, I hope he doesn't turn into a grumpy old man. He's already a grumpy old man, but like, he'll be like a grumpy old man with only half a lung, or one and a half a lung. I I don't know how much grumpier an old man can get. But so yeah, that's an update on my dad. You guys may or may not see more updates on him, during the upcoming week. I don't know. I still do not know for sure if I'm going to be live on Thursday. Like I said, if he comes home on Thursday, I'm probably not going to be live. Just because, I need to be there for him. I need to make sure that the kids are taken care of. So I probably won't know if I'm going to be doing my Thursday live with Crystal until, like, I don't know, a couple hours. I'll know probably in the morning whether or not my dad comes home Thursday, and then I will probably let her know if I can do it or not. But I don't know. I wouldn't bet on it, to be honest. I'm gonna say don't bet on it, because I don't want to make plans with everybody and then not follow through. I know it's an online thing, but I mean, I feel obligated to you guys. I have a schedule, and I don't want to tell you guys yes and then not be able to be there. Anyways, I'm talking a lot, and I'm sorry for that. I do appreciate you guys hanging out with me, though. So yeah, I think that's everything that I for sure wanted to talk to you guys about. That's pretty much all of the life updates, is dad's surgery and whatnot. Lots of stuff going on. Lots and lots of stuff going on. I'm sure during editing, I will think of something that I forgot to talk to you guys about. And if I do, I will just edit it in. And those of you that stay till the end of the video and happen to catch it will see it. And those of you that don't stay, that's okay too. I appreciate the views and the channel support anyways. But anyways, guys, I am gonna let you go for now. I'm gonna keep working on this Pachito, Panini Chainsaw Pig thing. For Casey. If y'all know, like, let me know if y'all watch that show. Do you know anything about that show? I don't know nothing about that show. Give me, should she be watching it? Like, is it, I don't have a problem with, violence or gore or anything like that. Is the show, like, overtly sexual or anything like that? Like, tell me, is it bad? Should a 12-year-old not be watching it? And maybe tell me why, if you're familiar with the show. Because I really don't want to just sit down and watch. I think she said it was, I don't know, she said it's like 3 weeks straight. If you just sat down and watched it, it's like 3 weeks straight, and you wouldn't, no sleep, no getting up. I don't know. She gave me the hours, and we did the math on it, and it was a lot of hours of this show. I think it was the same one. She watches like a whole bunch of different animes, and I can't keep up with them. I can't keep up with which characters are her favorites and which ones she's crushing on, and that one that she keeps arguing with me that she says is a he, but he's also not a he. But I told her, like, it's drawn to look like a girl. I'm really confused. But she says that he's both, and I'm like, but you keep calling him a he. but you're telling me that it's both. And then she gets mad at me for using the word it. And I'm like, this is a cartoon. This is not real world problems, man. I don't understand these Japanese characters. And she's applying things that she sees on YouTube and in real life, with pronouns and things like that to this character, and she's getting angry over it, and I'm just like, this is a cartoon character. So I don't know. I can't keep up with it all. Anyways, guys, I will let you go for now. Thank you to all of you guys who have sat with me and hung out with me for the last, 40 minutes or so. Like I said, this video may be a little bit longer if I think of something else I want to chat about, and then I'll just edit it in at the end. Yeah, thank you so much for hanging out, and I will see you guys in the next one. Don't forget, if you guys are interested in any of the patterns that I showed, they'll be in the description box. But yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.